Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Altcoin Buzz Trading. Bitcoin this morning being a little bit tricky. We mentioned we'd like a low and slow weekend over the weekend. We kind of got it, but we kind of didn't get it. So we did get a little bit of low and slow. We did also kind of attempt high. So here is kind of our threshold for the weekend. We're hoping to hold under this, and we did for the most part. Um, but we tried to accelerate higher here, and so far we've reversed lower pretty substantially, taking, almost taking out most of the range from this whole consolidation period. Our volume was low, which you kind of expect on a weekend, and but the way the chart looks right now with this declining trend line, we're getting a larger wick forming on the daily today. I think a lot of it's going to come down to how we close the day, and we could go back into randomness versus a more structured uptrend type of a move, which is what we were hoping to get last Friday. So I think that's really where we're sitting right now. Can we hold lows? Can we hold these lows and then come back and then finally have a decent breakout? Volume did start to get good a little bit earlier, but we just sold right into it. And even undercutting that breakout candle, not a good sign right off the bat. So that's not something you want to happen. If you do take a look at the last low we were kind of uh, modeling, if you will, was this low last time we hit this trend line, okay? And here you can see we popped up, had a consolidation, and we popped up, never looked back, good volume, off we go. We're not getting that. We're getting more action like this. So we could start to get more and more random over the next X amount of time. It's hard to say exactly. You never can really forecast these things. Uh, base by base, section by section. It's kind of hard to know the next leg that's coming, but you just do your best. You try to model if you can and see what happens. So here was a potential model. It kind of failed that model. So now we're doing more choppy. So here's where it breaks up and then tries, comes back down into the base, goes and tries to test the low. If you do find a bottoming candle, you could try to buy it, but it's going to be a little bit tricky because we're still kind of in small ball territory, small volume territory, and that implies that we can't really trust a lot of moves that are happening at the moment. But we'll see. On the flip side of that, could be good for some smaller short-term trades. If you think that the market's going to pull in a little bit from here, you have a good stop loss today morning in a lot of tokens across the market. In fact, our ICP trade we're going to look at, which we're going to look at ICP, WLD, which is Worldcoin, and Hbar. We're going to look at those today. And WLD, ICS both have, ICS especially has a good semblance of what I'm talking about with putting a stop here today if you're looking for a short. So let's look at ICS, ICP. I don't know what I'm saying this morning. So you got ICP. So it's been a weekend. So what's happened here? Well, ICP has found some resistance. Move that back. ICP's found some resistance right here where it should have found resistance. You can see on the 2-hour time frame, you get a test here, 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 here. Now, good volume trying to get up here, but we're unable to use that to move higher. Moved into resistance. Now we're trying to roll over back lower. So if you still believe in the short trade, if you're in the short trade, really you haven't been stopped out, no harm, no foul yet. But if you're not in this trade, you do have maybe an opportunity to try to consider a short with a stop at about this level, the high of today. Okay, currently that being 13,996. That's the high of today. All right. Now I could try to go a little bit higher than that, but we'll see. If the market gets choppy, then anything's on the table, and you don't necessarily want to short this if we try to go higher. You want to short after a failure, regardless. So if this starts to move up, you don't pick what you think is the top necessarily in real time. You kind of wait for that candle to close, and if things line up, then you can choose that to be the top. But like in the middle, the candle itself is definitely more advanced trading to sell that. You would have to use much lower time frames for that, and that can lead to more false signals. So, all right, next up is WLD. So WLD, these are our two top leading 50 tokens today. WLD, not bad. We actually highlighted this on my newsletter over the weekend, looking pretty nice and tight, and then it rallied through yesterday really nicely, and a good continuation today. Now we are getting some stalling action. You do have one doji here, which is this previous 2-hour candle. That is a doji on relatively high volume, and then you have a spinning top candle previous to that. So you are getting some stalling signals on WLD already, as we're seeing across the market, pulling back after trying to break out, right? So those are similar situations. So at this particular point, a little bit of patience is good, but WLD is looking really nice above the trend line, able to get above average volume, which is better than most tokens at this point. So I think this is a good one to at least look for, and we'll obviously keep an eye on it for bases in the future. And then Hbar, this one much more random in my opinion. We had a huge move up. I'm not sure why. I think there was some fake post that went out or something that caused this pop, and then a bigger pullback. So these big moves here. These are just ripple effects from this large move up here. Generally, when you get a big move up and then a big pullback, you'll get some of these ripple effects, and I think that's what Hbar is going through at the moment. I don't think there's a major move impending, especially if this move was due to some garbage news. And if you look at the way this is set up with the red candle directly after the green candle, the red candle is double the volume of the green candle with a big reversal. So definite distribution up here. I think it's going to be hard to get this one going. So all right, guys, that's all I got for you today. Let's see if the market can hold itself up, prop itself up. Um, if it can do it in a good way, maybe longs, maybe we can still look at some longs. But other than that, if it's just weak garbage action, this is looking better for a stop loss for a shorting opportunity. And other than that, if you don't believe in either of those, which I don't blame you, I'm kind of in that camp. I say we just wait and see what the market does and look for some amazing signals on some other day. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, have a great day today, and I'll see you tomorrow on Altcoin Buzz Trading.